this shit. I made some nice drums to it as well. Because nowadays everyone has like shit drums, like little hi-hats and like just bass kicks. No snares that actually kick properly, that actually hit properly. Probably enough, of that. So this is like one of the first sort of like full painting style ones that I've done, and you've got it took a while to do, it took a little bit to do, a lot of use of the smudge tool. I guess the idea sort of behind it when I started making it was like the ancient, I think it's Greek mythology of the boatman on the river Styx. So I was actually going to do it a lot closer and have the boatman of the river Styx coming for his silver coin so he can take people on a ride. That's the myth anyway. But I just ended up drawing a guy, sort of like the boatman on the river Styx, if you will, going to pick up this person so they can go to the afterlife or whatever. So it was a bit of a mythological kind of piece, I guess. Now I'll show this. This one was this is my latest one. That's one I made a while ago. I was at the time, I think I was watching and playing games and watching movies that were more your nerdy kind of like the Dark Crystal, Lord of the Rings, more the Conan the Barbarian. So I was making a lot of like sort of nerdy shit, like beautiful elf maidens and strange puppet master goblins, strange goblins. And over here you have some kind of little, looks like kind of like a pug dog if it was a goblin combined, spliced into one genetic abomination. Give it a little bit of detail. I'm still probably not as detailed as I'd like to be. Give me a couple of years, I'll be that detailed, but at the moment, that's not bad. For me, that's not bad. This is that shoe that I put into the Nike competition. What I basically did here is, I wanted to keep it one color scheme, so it's very red. It's pretty ugly. I would never wear this shoe if it ever came out. I don't think anyone in their right mind would wear this shoe, but I was trying to make some decent, just artwork for it. Try to make it kind of like cinematic. It looks like kind of like a Star Wars kind of influenced. I think that's about it for that piece. That's all I have to say. Sometimes when you're drawing something and you've been drawing it for like maybe 2 or 3 days, or been working on some piece. If you've been working on a piece and you get so into it, you can't even tell if it's good or terrible anymore. You just need to take a little bit of time out, have a little bit of a break, have a little bit of a relax, and then get back to it with a fresh pair of eyes. Just like if you made music, same thing, but with your ears, obviously, because you don't listen to music with your eyes. But it's the same principle. If you get too much into something, you can't even tell if it's fucking shit. Now this is a piece I did for the 3010 film that I was working on. This was just a concept based on another one to start off, but it was supposed to be the monsters, or not the monsters, the mutants. I just tried to make something that was really disgusting to look at, and I think it really worked. When you can make something that disturbs people, I think that's just as much of a talent as making something that's beautiful, because the reaction is still the same, that you can make someone be disgusted. And I'm a really hard person to disgust, so when I make something disgusting, you know it's going to be disgusting. This is one side of a ship that I worked on. This is the ship for the same feature length. This is the side view, which I actually did first before I did any of the other views. It's actually the nicest of any of the views I did. Go figure, it's the first one I did, so I didn't elevate, I got worse. But that was pretty straightforward. It was just using pieces of stuff and textures to get stuff very straight and made. So this isn't really that's not the usual way I do things. I usually very messy, very just painting, drawing. I had to be a lot more strict and a lot more like rectangle here, square there, circle there. I had to be a lot more strict with myself. No fucking around. When you're making something that's mechanical or straight or building or geometrically perfect, you have to be more careful with that kind of thing. This one I did differently for the same 3010 film. This one I actually used real buildings and cut them out and made this wasteland from photos, which isn't like what I usually just paint things from scratch, but I didn't have the time nor the patience to do a whole city, so this is kind of like a shortcut. Got really creative just cutting things and mixing them together. And I think sometimes it takes just as much effort to take things that already exist, the same way you might sample music or something. Take something that already exists and cut tiny little bits out of each different thing. It's like breaking a mirror, taking all the shards, putting them back together in a different order and making a perfect square mirror. So sometimes making things out of other things taking things and sampling things is a lot harder than building from scratch, in that sense that you can't control it. You have to force something to be what you want. So the one piece of advice, if you're ever doing work for someone else and doing concept work or concept art for someone else, is never delete anything, never get rid of anything, never throw anything away, because what will happen is they'll like something that you completely hate, and they won't want anything to do with the piece that you spent ages on and really love. So something that you think is terrible, they might love. You can never tell other people's perception, so never throw anything away. And what they'll do is they'll give you a breath mint before you get sent to the gallows. So they'll be like, they'll get back at you and they'll be like, change. We really like your picture. We like this part about it. We like this part about it, and we like this part about it. But could you just change this, and this, and then it will all be good. So basically, yeah, never get rid of anything. Otherwise that's it. And you got to have the fresh eyes. Otherwise, it's done. If you don't have the fresh eyes.
Swag.